This NBA Finals and Stanley Cup edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Edge Boost, the bank account built for better. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN and get a free Refs or Terrorists t-shirt. Claim your shirt at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs.
Hey everybody, Joe Theismann here. You're listening to SGPN. So do this, let it ride.
Fucking shine box.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green, with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Happy Monday, Sean.
Wait, what? It's Sunday.
Most people are listening. It's Monday.
Okay. Happy Monday to people in the in England, because it's not Monday yet. In
15 minutes it will be.
Okay, in the East Coast, 15 minutes. Kramer always likes checking in with the time and dates.
It's literally the most important thing, as some would say, in the world.
Okay,
in the universe.
Kramer, you were missed on the VSiN show. We had CJ Sullivan fill in. It was a lot of fun. You were there in spirit via the new
happened?
sound drop. Which I just like really this and I could just go back and forth between Kevin Harlan and Kramer all day.
You played that for the good folks at VSiN?
I think so. Yes. They enjoyed it. It was good times. Good times hanging out with CJ Sullivan.
Did CJ keep it clean for the airwaves?
Yes,
okay.
he did. He did keep it clean. Although, in case he did curse, we did have this ready.
CJ's language.
Courtesy of CJ GJ
Very
from
nice.
the Eagles Parade. We're going to be talking NBA Finals, Stanley Cup, little US Open recap. Fuck Sam Burns.
Whoa,
God, man, that was so.
What a great tournament.
Was it great?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the
course was great.
As someone who bet on Sam Burns, I didn't think it was great, but shout out to JJ's spawn there with the nice closeout victory there. And Sam Burns had it going the whole way, and then he let the water get in his head. Although I still think if you're supposed to get relief from standing water. I'm not a golf expert, but that 80 to 1 would have been pretty damn nice to cash.
It did seem like the consensus thought that maybe sided with you in the Sam Burns army.
Yes.
But great ending, right? You get the ridiculous longest putt of the tournament was sunk on the winning hole for JJ Spawn. I thought that was pretty cool.
Onions shot by him, and hats off to him. If you
but
had
he didn't need
JJ
to.
Spawn. Yeah,
that's the thing. If you hear someone belly aching about some guy making some long putt and script, he could have 2-putted, would have won also. So calm down,
Kramer. I was hanging out. My father-in-law was town, and we went. Me, my wife, her brother, father-in-law. He got us tickets for a Father's Day celebration. Came and visit us to a soccer match at the Rose Bowl, and I had never been to a professional soccer match. And well, first off, it was one of the teams was PSG, which is a French team. I learned. Now,
yes.
It was very funny because, of course,
they're a Saudi-backed French team.
Yeah, well, there were a lot of French-speaking people in the Rose Bowl watching the game, and I just kept flashing back to Colby, who calls the UCLA fans the wine and cheese crowd, and now we have people literally from France.
Were they the wine and cheese crowd?
It was very hot.
Yes,
and so it was 80,000 people in the stadium. Did
they run out of water?
Well, they didn't run out of water, but you're not allowed to get water bottles. So they buy water bottles, they open it and then pour it into a cup because you're not allowed to have bottles because they're afraid you're gonna throw it. The The crowd got really excited for the wave.
Nice.
And these two
that's like the American thing that they come to experience.
The two guys next to me were like, that was a really good wave. They were grading the wave, and it was.
We had the wave our whole life, you know. We had
started out slow and it got better. Going back to our poll question, our discussion piece, a couple days ago, last week sometime, where I was saying I was emphatic that soccer was a softer sport than the National Basketball Association, yes. And the poll did not agree with me. I was proven wrong. I thought it was going to be soccer is softer than the National Basketball Association. But in my heart of hearts, I also know, Sean, you've never been to a soccer match before. This was my first professional match of soccer. And right.
Were you annoyed that you were going?
No, I'm honestly, you could tell me you're going to do almost anything at the Rose Bowl, and yeah, I'm down.
Because you like wine and cheese.
The Rose Bowl is a really cool stadium. I like watching sports. I like hanging out with my wife's brother and father-in-law. It was a good hang. No, really. But I did. I had a couple.
It's a great
beers.
Tailgate. Well, I was just going to say it's a great tailgate. It's maybe the best tailgating venue in the Los Angeles area.
It probably is. I don't think anything comes close to it, honestly.
USC has some. Some
I guess, but the fact that at the UCLA, the Rose Bowl, you're actually on grass and not in like a parking structure, whatever. But to your point, yeah, they do open up the lots and stuff. Right. Just make sure that our channel is set to mature language because some of the images, and if you have
you brought pictures,
youtube.com/sportsgambling podcast. If you have anyone under the age of 17, some of the,
do I need to blur this out?
Some of the barbaric I didn't realize how brutal, how just physically destroyed some of these. Ryan, you may not even want to look away, but this gentleman almost died.
Wow.
There's another gentleman.
It looks like it was hot.
Writhing around on the grass in agony. Yeah. In agony. Another gentleman. Look at this, Ryan. This is. I haven't seen the casualty report yet from the match. But
did he make it?
I don't know. This gentleman dying, but then quickly got up when the ball came. And Ryan, I know you're not a religious man. But
that's not true.
Okay. I became more religious from just watching this match because I got to witness a miracle.
Really?
They brought out a stretcher because I assumed a man was near death and may not be able to walk again. By the time the stretcher got over there, Ryan, the man was up walking again.
Well, that's
I believe now. Yep. In the healing power of soccer.
I'm glad you got to see a miracle.
I've never seen this at an NBA game. The stretcher rolled out for a guy who then popped up, but it was a lot of fun.
It seems like you're taking your loss well.
I
just see. It seems like you're taking the loss well.
It was
so you're taking it so well. You went to a soccer game to take pictures to prove a point on the podcast.
No, I didn't go. I went to the soccer game to enjoy live soccer.
That's one side of the story.
And I witnessed some barbaric activity that I thought people should be aware. And we live in California. There's a chance, Ryan, this sport, I don't know if it should legally be allowed because of the intense physical nature of it.
What you're doing here.
I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't stick around. You ready to talk a little NBA?
Yeah, I've been ready. I didn't realize we were going to continue on a conversation that already ended.
I admitted that I was probably wrong for judging soccer before I saw a professional match. And shout out to the audience for correcting me there. Of course, shout out to college football. The team previews are back. Every FBS team, Colby Dan and Moneyline Mac preview every episode. Not going to want to miss it. Joining us on the line from the NBA Gambling Podcast and the WNBA Gambling Podcast, Terrell Furman and Scott Reichel. Gentlemen, thanks for hopping on. We'll obviously going to break down NBA Finals Game 5 and the series in general, and we have to make it quick because Terrell does want to watch the latest episode of Love Island. So chat, no spoiler alerts. Love Island. I feel like we got to talk a little bit about the Desmond Bane trade that rocked the league. Scott, you're up first. What was your thoughts on the Desmond Bane trade?
I understood why Orlando did it, but it felt like a lot. That's all I'll say. 4 unprotected first-round picks and a swap I thought was a bit excessive. If it was protected, I can understand it. The Phoenix pick being included in it as well does seem like a lot, but I get what Orlando's doing. Tatum's out for the year. Brown just had surgery. We don't know what the Cavs are going to do. The Pacers are in the middle of the finals, but some people think it was a fluky run. I'm not saying that. But the point is, it is a very open conference, and you can make an argument that Orlando was a missing piece away from being a serious contender in that conference. Would I pick them to win the title? No. But I think they can make the finals in theory. They could not shoot a three-pointer to save their lives the entire season, and they got Bane, who's a very good three-point shooter. So I understand the actual move itself and the fit. It's a lot. I'll put it that way. They also got off the KCP contract, which helps them. As for Memphis, this might be the first of many trades because you traded away arguably your second best player. You still have Ja, who's a very rising player off the court. And you have Jaren Jackson Jr., who is a solid big man that people are kind of sour on because he doesn't rebound the ball. So if you're Memphis and you're a play-in team with those 3 guys that are owed a lot of money and you're not good enough, is Memphis going to blow up the entire team? So I can understand what Memphis is doing. They got a lot of draft capital back. We'll see if they try to trade somebody else. Maybe they flip the picks they just got from Orlando and try to make another splash move. Who knows? But I understand what Orlando did. It felt quite excessive, the amount they gave up. But you know what? They see a weak Eastern Conference. They're going to go for it. I respect them for trying. For Memphis, I think it's the first of a couple of moves being made. They look like they're on the verge of blowing up the entire team.
Terrell, Desmond Bane, would you have done the trade for? Unprotected does sound like a ton. And any thoughts on Love Island, Meg, what she's going through?
I do not care about Desmond Bane.
Oh, wow.
I'm not the biggest Desmond Bane fan, to be honest. But with that being said, I think that everybody talking about the 4 first-round picks is extremely excessive when we get around to the draft and nobody is even watching after pick 10.
That is true.
So like all of these picks that they traded, they're going to be towards the back end of the draft from in different years. Like these aren't number 1 overall picks that they're giving up. Yes, it has a chance, but the likelihood of that is extremely unlikely. I think that
the Phoenix one's a maybe though. The next year's Phoenix pick could be interesting in that deal.
We'll see. For the most part, I think that nobody cares. Like everybody tries to make it seem like they care about first round picks and all this anymore, but nobody cares. Nobody cares because half the teams in the league can't draft well anyway. The only reason that Memphis said, oh, wow, these four first round picks look interesting because in the past few years, they drafted Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bane, Luke Kennard, like all of these, well, not Luke Kennard, but who was it? Edie. They have Gigi Jackson, Vince Williams, like they go and they draft all of these really, really good depth pieces. So it's like, oh, we care about some back end of the first round picks, but like nobody cares. Rudy Gobert went for 5 first round picks. Like, I don't care. First round picks are not as valuable as people made them seem in the past. So I think that we're going to see a lot more players go for this same round of 4 or 5 first round picks because nobody really cares.
It's like basketball more than any other sport. The GMs do well, fuck it, I'm not going to be here anyway with their future draft.
Definitely
picks.
Mortgaging the future.
Baseball has like the 12-year, 10-year contracts where they're just like, fuck it, I'm not going to be here anywhere. But basketball with these picks, knowing that there's 2 rounds a year, so you have 60 picks and 50 are worthless, and we're trading them around like they're packs of playing cards.
Well, I kind of do see both sides. To Terrell's point, like if you want to vet, you have to give up a shit ton of picks. But to Scott's point, coming on the other side, that the SGA, like some of these guys, Joker, you just kind of have to draft right. You don't have, and how obviously it's easier said than done. But if you don't have the picks to try and roll the dice and nail one of these guys, then you're really going to be like. I get why Memphis does it, but now what is Memphis going to do? It's almost like they're conceding the West, which is tough. Orlando thinks they got a shot here to make a move in the East, and they're going for it. Just for unprotected does seem
it's not a sports
crazy
town either.
So I just picked a random year.
Yeah.
I'm at 2019. Here are all of the picks outside of the top 15. Nikhil Alexander-Walker, Gogo Batazzi, Lucas Samadic, whatever. Matisse Thybulle, Brandon Clark, Grant Williams, Darius Baisley, Ty Jerome, Nazir Little, Dylan Whittler. Jordan Poole's down here. There you go.
Yeah, I mean that's the main angle.
Kevin Porter Jr. Like these are all nobody on there besides Jordan Poole has a ring. Jordan Poole has a ring.
Yeah, no, I mean you can find those diamonds in the rough, but if you don't have it, if you're not rolling the dice,
if you don't draft well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's totally crazy. And Matt pointing out in the chat, it makes the Luka trade even more suspect that they didn't at least get like a bunch of picks tossed in there as well. Super suspicious. All right, we're gonna move over to Game 5 NBA Finals. Before we do, shout out to Edge Boost. It is the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums, earn cashback rewards, 100% approval for betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN. And we extended it one more week because there was a bunch of people signing up for their free Refs Are Terrorists t-shirts. All you got to do, go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs to claim your free shirt after you sign up over at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Circa and their ultimate fantasy football giveaway. Love a good fantasy football draft. That's why I love best ball. And you can win the a draft party in Vegas. Stadium Swim, really awesome time, a great hangout. You can win a 2-night stay for you and 11 of your friends. Brad, I see you in the chat. You got to enter this. Everyone should be entering this. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa, CIRCA. $5,000 bar tab at Stadium Swim, limo transportation. Again, you and your 11 buddies, your entire league at a free draft party in Vegas. Everyone in the league should be entering this contest. It's for free. All you do, give them your name, email, info, and you're good to go. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CIRCA. Kramer.
Yes.
Game 5. What's the line?
I feel like we're just in the same spot that we've been in. Thunder laying a huge number, -9.5, -405 on the money line, 315 for the Pacers coming back. 224 is the money line. All right. So my thoughts here are, it does seem like it is getting more and more ridiculous to lay the points with the Thunder, period. Even when they do cover.
Well, I had +6
as a honk back in the Thunder.
I had +6 for the Pacers in Game 4. I still don't know how they not only lost that game, but not covering that 6 at the end was
it was the opposite of what they normally do.
Yeah, normally they're down, they're hanging around, and then they make a little run. This time they were the better team for the majority of the game, and they just couldn't hang on to the lead. They fumbled the bag, and they fumbled a great opportunity to go up 3-1. Now it's a 3-game series with Oklahoma City having 2 of the home games. Obviously, it makes it way tougher for them to get this win. Scott, what are you doing here? Game 5. To me, I just keep going back to the Pacers have not lost back-to-back games since March 10th, and they are incredibly good ATS after a loss. I'm going to pull up the updated number: 22-13-2 ATS after a loss, and they're getting 9.5 points. What am I missing here, Scott? Do you just hammer the Pacers here?
I like the Pacers plus the points in the game. I understand why some people might be thinking that the Pacers blew their opportunity. Now the Thunder are going to take control of the series. They'll be able to dominate. We'll go from there. The series has been kind of similar to the Nuggets series, kind of like exact game by game basis. And they did win the Game 5 at home.
Yeah.
They didn't win by a lot. I think it'd actually be a close game. These teams are more evenly matched than the odds makers want to admit. And I do think that even though OKC did win Game 4, it was because of Indiana choking down the stretch. They scored 1 point in the last 3:19 of the game. OKC managed to win a game on the road in 2025, despite hitting 3 3-pointers.
Yeah.
Game. Like, I feel like Shea and J-Dub had to carry the entire team. Caruso gave them about 20. Chet was very good in the second half. He had some big rebounds. And yet, despite all that, Indiana was still up 10 in the second half, and they fumbled the game. With the home crowd advantage, the Thunder are going to show up and dominate, or Indiana with Carlisle is going to stay competitive, but find a way to hang in there. Do I think they'll win? No. They're getting 9.5 points. It's a lot of points from what Kramer mentioned before. Feels like a pretty even series where Indiana finds a way to hang in there. OKC has not really proven consistently they are capable of fully blowing out this team. And offensively, despite winning, making 3 3-pointers, not really sold on your offense sustaining that ability to win while shooting that poorly from 3. Give me Indiana plus the 9.5. I think the Thunder win. I like Thunder 1-10. That was plus 160. I see the Thunder winning like we saw in Game 5 against the Nuggets. It's close. It might be in doubt at some point, but eventually they make enough plays at the end to win but not cover. Give me the Pacers plus 9.5.
Yeah, and Ryan Hasty in the chat saying Benny Mathurin sold the free throws at the end. As someone who had the Pacers plus 6 and Benedict Mathurin over 10.5 points, he had 8 points and he missed 3 free throws at the end. I want this man investigated. The ultimate traitor, Benedict Mathurin. It's right in his name. I don't know how I missed it. Terrell, what about you? What do you make of this game? The spread? We'll talk some totals, some props, but where are you at? I'm trying to figure out what am I missing? 9.5 feels really high.
So OKC hit 3 3-pointers in the game.
3 for 18.
Covered their first road game.
Yeah.
In the entire playoffs.
Now they're 1-8.
And now we're going back home. And again, this was a bad game by OKC on the road, and they got to win. No, nail in the coffin. Nail in the coffin. This is going to be ugly. OKC's defense has been one of the best defenses that we talked about, like in a very long time. We have been talking about OKC all year defensively. When they get at home, they go into a different mode. And now you're telling me in a best of 3 Game 5 at home, they know do or die. We got to have this one. I think this is when everybody is hitting. You'll get the Isaiah Joe, the Kaysen Wallace. You'll get the Alex Caruso. You'll get everybody adding to the total off the bench and playing really, really well defensively. I don't trust Tyrese Halliburton in this spot. I don't trust him to go out there and give them what they need throughout the entire game. He'll show up in the fourth quarter when the game's out of hand and he'll drop and spam out a 10+ points or something like that. But throughout the entire game, he's been very, very passive because he's been in the torture chamber. I think this is OKC's game where they just completely pull away from this one. I've seen OKC beat this team and beat this team handily before. I think they're going to do it here at home in a really, really good spot. So I think it's all OKC all the way.
And Caruso was one of the guys that did help them a lot scoring wise. 20 points from Caruso, 7-9 from the field. I was laughing a little bit when Terrell mentioned Tyrese Halliburton. My wife's 12-year-old brother. He's like, Tyrese Halliburton, he's him, right? And I go, I don't know, man. I like the Pacers, but he also huge Shedeur Sanders fan. Was what? One, yeah. Oh, he's 12. He goes. He's like, why did they draft Shedeur so late? I'm like, yeah, there's probably a lot of reasons. I don't know if he helped himself in the pre-draft process. And then he's just like, oh, but Travis Hunter, he's going to be awesome at least. I go, yeah, no, Travis Hunter, I think will be good. Kramer, what are you doing here with this 9.5 points? Are you taking it? Or are you?
Well, first I would have a question. Game 6, what do we think the spread will be? Like right around 6 again?
It has to be, right?
Yeah.
They're not really adjusting much.
So the money line is going to be closer to like 220.
Okay.
Something like that. 215.
Now
minus 215 for the
I
favorite.
would say this. I do think if the Thunder win and they have a chance to close out the Pacers at home, I think they will. I think it'll get down a little bit. Like there'll be a little bit of a tax of the Pacers back against the wall elimination game. I would guess like 4 points, but not huge.
So what I was going to point out is that the mechanic, like if you can take the OKC Thunder to effectively win the next couple games, a number of ways you can play that. You can still play the series spread, but effectively you're getting about plus 100 to plus 105 on all these bets. If you parlay minus, what are we sitting at right now? Minus 405, something like that. and then we put it with that minus 200 or whatever we think it's going to be. I know you shrank it a little bit. I mean, we're talking about a minus 115 bet at that point. And so you're much better. And the Dub Club's going to love this, but you're much better. Just instead of mechanical parlaying the OKC Thunder on the money line, we're going to lock in on the minus 1.5. So they're going to win the next 2 games.
Oh, minus 1.5 games. Okay.
Yeah. Well, because it's kind of me giving out the money line for this game, which is not the most desirable way to do it.
So basically you're parlaying the next 2 games money lines.
But instead of getting a bad minus odds price, I'm getting plus 105.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Dub Club, lock in.
Lock in great EV.
I was going to say, just to be clear, I don't know if that actually counts. I don't know if that counts as a Dub Club play because that actually made sense.
Yeah. So thank you. Thank you, Scott.
It might be a bit too smart for Dub
You need
Club.
to tweet
that
it out. You need to tweet it out so Scott can roast you. Yeah, they don't really.
No, it was a good play. That's what I'm saying. Dub Club people would have just gone for the parlay. That actually made sense.
No, pricing out a mechanical parlay versus the futures market does make sense.
Scott just gave me the equivalent of like a rapid fire 3 backhanded compliments there.
Actually, it's like when my
fuck yeah, makes sense, baby. I'm back.
It was like my sister-in-law. Actually, Sean, you are good at getting your wife gifts. Like, wait, what? Why'd you have to throw in the actually there? I didn't know. What is there something going on? I do all right with gifts. Actually, yeah. Like, okay, all right. Terrell.
Wow.
Props wise, what are we doing? What do you like? Game 6. I see Adam in the chat. He likes a SGA parlay, SGA to score 30 points and go under 6.5 assists. And also, what has he got? 2+ steals there at plus 275. I mean, hard to not like SGA. His points are at 34.5, which is just bonkers. But I'm not gonna fade him or tail because it's too high. But Terrell, it sounded like you liked the bounce back game shooting wise from some of these Thunder guys, and you also liked obviously the Thunder defense. How do you see that shaking out in the prop market?
Yeah, under 30.5 for Tyrese Halliburton. He's gone under in the first 2 games on the road in these finals, and I think he's going to go under again. I think all of the Pacers are going to have a tough time when they really get physical on defense, slow the game down, force them to play out of the half court, and force them into some tough shots. And so Hallie hasn't been as aggressive on the road as he is at home for the entire game, and that affects the PRA. So I like under 30.5 for Hallie.
Under 30.5 PRA for Halliburton. Yeah, as a guy who likes Pacers plus 9.5, I don't know, man. Halliburton is a tough cat to figure out. I think he does all right, but he might not. 30.5 is a lot. I still always like, if you don't think he's going to be out there, I kind of like just fading his points, but I see the angle on the PRA. Scott, what about you? What's a good prop here for Game 5 NBA Finals?
Well, I'm going back to our guy. I got to go TJ McConnell. I'll go with the over 7.5 points this time. I'm not going to throw in the assists and the rebounds because I have noticed his points have been impressive on its own. So I'll just take that instead. 7.5 even money. He's had at least 8 points in every game of the series against the Thunder. He's had at least 8 points in 8 straight games against this team. And they need him on the court because his energy is contagious. And he's been very effective in the series in limited bursts or whether they use him for a longer period of time. Give me the over 7.5 points. You mentioned that Halliburton might be a bit passive. That's fine with me. We might see both of them there together. McConnell's been great with the second unit. I'll keep taking it until it loses. Once again, 8 straight overs against the Thunder. I'll keep taking it. Give me McConnell over 7.5 points at even money.
Yeah,
that's Sean. Sean has been like a pig in shit with this.
TJ. Rudy McConnell did kind of let us down there. His rebounds, you can get it like a nice plus money. At his
I might have jinxed him last game.
Yeah, I mean, he was due, and it does look like his rebounds and assists are back down to 5.5, which really that's his sweet spot. It went up to 6.5, and I said I'm taking it anyway. But yeah, give me. I do like the. Do I just do points with Scott? I'll trust Scott. I'll just do TJ McConnell points.
I'll say this.
Yes.
I was watching with a basketball coach the last game.
Oh, nice flex.
And he said, yes. And he said that TJ McConnell was a guy that you honestly don't care about his 8 to 10 points.
Yeah.
You let him, he's an energy guy. He's really, really annoying. And you just let him get his 8 to 10 because you're not going to let Ben Mathurin go for 25 again, or let Obi Toppin try to go for 20 again. Like, you're focused on those guys. CJ McConnell is the guy where they're like, all right.
All right, we'll let you get open for a reason. That was my nickname back in the day.
Really?
I will. Yes, I will toss in. I didn't really play that. I mean, Ryan, we played on the team. Burbank Beavers. Was I lighting it up? I did have a nice elbow jumper. That was about it. Ryan,
I would say, yeah. But you were probably getting the like the look treatment. Like they saw
anything like your flag football.
I would say that at one point at the height of the Burbank Beavers, we were playing in an unrestricted league.
Yes,
where teams were being recruited from playgrounds in the surrounding area, and dudes were fully dunking on us. Like,
yeah,
it was
getting dunked on as an adult is not that fun.
No,
I mean it's funny the first time, but like when a guy dunks 3 minutes into a game and you still have like 37 minutes left in the game, it's not that fun. What's up?
Demoralizing?
Yes, demoralizing is a great word for it. But Kramer's game was hilarious. All he would do is try and take charges and or hit threes. Like that was Ryan's game.
I set good screens.
Yeah, he did set good screens.
Could hit a 3-pointer.
He would also keep track of his own charge stats, and at the end of the season, it'd be like, guys, 5 charges this season.
I was good at taking the charges too. People hated the charges in rec league. People don't like the charges.
Although rec league refs do love calling a charge.
Yeah. Well,
you want to excite a ref league ref?
They tilt it back and get the hand back and bam.
I'll toss in a prop. Jalen Williams under 27.5 points and assists. And shout out to Rhythm. I got that from Rhythm, one of their power trends. But I like Jalen Williams to not have a great game. Like his issue, at least in the playoffs, has been consistency. He just had 2 pretty good games, points, assist wise on the road. I think he comes back home and to Terrell's earlier point, like I think the role players are going to suck up some of the points and some of the assists that he was getting, kind of carrying the team on the road. So I think he fades away here a little bit. So I'll take the under 27.5 points and assists. Ryan, any other?
Would you like a prop?
Yeah, sure. Are
Alex
you going to go
Caruso,
back to Siakam first basket?
Yeah, I'm playing it. But,
okay,
but I have something better.
All right, what do you got?
Alex Caruso, 3-point number. Last time this finals that they won the game handily, Caruso had 4. He's also been getting a healthy dose of them. We're gonna go over. I feel like I probably should ladder this, but I'm just gonna go all the way to the top. Caruso knocks down 4 or 3-pointers or more, 10-1.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man,
he's gonna be cooking. All right, Terrell. Terrell, we'll let you get back to Love Island.
Yeah, enjoy, dude.
Thanks for hopping on. Make sure you check out Terrell NBA Gambling Podcast. I know that season's wrapping up, but WNBA Gambling Podcast in full session. Him and Scott do a great job, so make sure you check that out. And your show, Fast Break Bets, right, over on Betting Pros Podcast as well. Give him a follow on X at ReallyRel _. Thank you, Terrell.
See you, Terrell.
And we're going to talk a little NHL before we do. Shout out to Underdog. Love Underdog. And obviously Underdog Fantasy getting the extender going for the NBA Finals. Let me pull this up because this is the extender that they currently have going. It's because I've been playing it. 80% profit boost right now. Are you kidding me?
I was going to say you got to be up at the 80% level.
So I will be playing TJ McConnell higher 7.5 points. I'm also going to be taking Jalen Williams. Let's see if they have the points and assists. They do. So lower 27.5 points and assists. I need one more.
Well, you can take. I mean, I did do a tiny bit of research on the Caruso 3-point. What's the 3-point number for him?
Okay, let's see. I will pull up Alex Caruso.
And just in general, he seems to
higher 1.5 3-pointers made. Can he do it, Ryan?
He's done it in 3 out of 4, I think.
Okay.
Could be wrong with that.
So
he also he tends to trend with like his 3-pointers tend to trend nicely with them scoring.
Okay. So, and that's an 80% profit boost. Alex Caruso higher, 1.5 3-pointers made. Jalen Williams lower, 27.5 points and assists, and TJ McConnell higher, 7.5 points. And get that over on UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. I just mentioned one of Rhythm's favorite power trends. They're great, Rhythm. If you are getting serious about playing picks, props, they're also great for sides and totals. But if you hear these people, oh, I got my model this, my model that. Rhythm helps you build your own model. It's very easy. It's you're not doing any sort of heavy lifting math. It's just a simple slider. Then they crunch the numbers and then they build you the model. If you don't feel like doing that, you can just use their own models and projections. Like I said, they like the Jalen Williams under points and assists, 27.5, and you get a 7-day free trial. If you go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And last but not least, mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN, get you 100% deposit match up to $1,000. You got the MyBookie casino, the live betting, the money bag, which you sync up with a random future, or I mean, Kramer, what? I don't
want to talk about the money bag right now.
You've been a little cold on the money bag, but it is electric. So if you want to get in on it, mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. All right, talking a little hockey with our buddy Scott Reichel, who's truly a 6-sport handicapper, and make sure to check out the Tennis Gambling Podcast, WNBA, NBA. The Oilers. I was all over the Oilers. I had them for the series. They just no-showed at home. Scott, what was that Game 5 from the Oilers? It felt like they lacked energy. Why didn't have a pulse?
I was going to say, they have 3 shots in the first period?
Yeah, like what the hell?
It's very frustrating.
It felt like Game 3 all over again.
Yeah,
this one was at home. So you figure after you pull off the miraculous comeback in Game 4, you're probably going down 3-1. Find a way to come back from 3-0 down. Then you blow the game, and then you win in overtime on an accidental deflected shot that basically was a pass that goes in, and then you no-show the game after at home. Ideal. Said that, I am going to point out that the Oilers were down 3-0 last year to Florida and managed to force a Game 7. I think a lot of people are writing off the Oilers already. Not going to go that far, because I saw last year Florida punt away a 3-0 lead. They won the series anyway. We saw them blow a 3-goal lead in Game 4. I think Edmonton is still alive in the series. I'm not saying they're going to come back and win the whole thing, but for Game 6, they have more than a puncher's chance. I'll put it that way. A lot of people automatically are crowning the Panthers as being the Cup winners already. I think it's very premature.
And I mean, we gave it out on VSiN. The over has just been now there was got fortunate in Game 5, but the over 6.5 goals is hit in every single game. 7, 9, 7, 9, and then another 7 goals. Of course, the let's see, the puck line +1.5 for the Oilers, -215. Total is still at 6.5, and you're getting +100 on the over.
And who are they starting in the net?
That's a good question. Are they? I would assume Skinner is still out there, or what?
No,
they benched him.
Yeah, they pulled the old switcheroo in Game 5, but now they're saying "quote unquote" undecided, not committing.
It's going to be Skinner.
Yeah,
I had to guess. I find it hard to believe you can roll Pickard back out there, because you started the series with Skinner, then you ended up pulling him midway through. You pulled off a miraculous comeback, which wasn't even because Pickard's better than Skinner. It was because you're down 3-0. You got to change up the momentum. We'll switch goalies, go from there. And then the coach thought to himself, well, damn it, I guess I got to use this guy again, even though Skinner's the better goalie for Game 5, and it didn't work out. But I think Skinner's the better goalie. I think they've been trying to ride the hot hand. So dangerous, because you give no goalie any flow whatsoever throughout the entire series if you keep just switching them in and out. But I think in an elimination game, you got to go with your better goalie. Skinner's the better goalie. So it's undecided. I don't believe that. They made up their mind as soon as the game was over. I think Skinner's starting game 6.
It's going 7, right?
It does. I mean, it's tough to get that win in Florida. They've been very good at home, and they'll be there, itching to hoist that cup and run back to back. But I do like this Oilers team. They're a small dog. I still think I'm just playing the over one more time. Why not? I'll start there over 6.5. Scott, what do you like for a side total? Anything you're doing here? Prop wise, maybe.
Yes. If it's broken, don't fix it. Give me the over at 6.5 at even money. I know that it was a bit miraculous it got there because the fourth. Once again, you saw a bunch of goals in that third period, but I think you could see that again. You're looking at an elimination game. In theory, if a team's down 3 or 4 goals with 8 minutes to go, are you pulling the goalie? Things in elimination games, I feel like that's a possibility there.
Yeah.
But both offenses got going. An issue that I do have with both teams is the penalty kill. Edmonton's penalty kill has been a mess the entire postseason, and they've been trying to get by it anyway. But they really can kill off a penalty on a regular basis. And on Edmonton's side, you have McDavid, you have Draisaitl, Bouchard, who attempts 40 shots a game. You have Perry's 50-year-old body taking shots and scoring goals in the playoffs as well. I think the power plays are too good for these teams, and the penalty kills have been a step behind at this point. So I do question how, I'd say, disciplined both teams will be when it comes to staying out of the box, which is a bit of a concern for both teams. I like the over in this one. I see JG mentioning the Perry shots. I don't mind that either. It was like 1.5 at -120 last game. I'm fine with that too. I think you're going to see a high-scoring game. Could be close, 3-3 overtime. 4. It's an automatic win.
Yeah.
Each team gets the 3. I can see that happening. I like the over in this game.
So yeah, I will officially be on the over 6.5, but one more time with the Oilers there as a small dog, just because I do want to watch some more of this series. It's been a great back and forth affair with some crazy OT games. Felt like Game 5 was the only. I mean, I guess there's the 6-1 was bad too, but there's been the remaining games were pretty good. I'll take the over and the Oilers one more time. And yes, as you mentioned, JG saying Corey Perry 2 shots. Kramer, what are you doing? You are the hockey expert.
Overtime is +350.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
You can also do overtime with the goal scorer. Is that too crazy? Who would the goal scorer be, Scott?
Oh, to send it to overtime?
No, win
just to win it in overtime. I'm going to ask though. Who are you picking to win?
Well, it's going to go 7. So who's the Oiler that scores in overtime?
Draisaitl scores every overtime goal for that damn team, but yeah. I'll switch it up. I'll go McDavid this time around.
42-1.
42-1 for McDavid to score in overtime.
Yes.
Okay, that's a fun.
I'm a degenerate.
He finally scored last game, so maybe that got the monkey off his back and he'll start scoring again. Because we were waiting for him. Draisaitl kept scoring. He kept assisting, and he finally scored. So maybe, the floodgates are about to be unleashed. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
Scott, are you doing anything for the series? Oilers +310, hopping in the Conn Smythe, like Draisaitl, Conn Smythe, or McDavid, Conn Smythe. Is there any value there in the dogs?
So Adam Rosenberg, have already been invested in the Conn Smythe market. We already have Marchand and Bennett, so we're just holding on right now. We're trying to see what happens, but we're holding on. One of those two guys are going to win. Florida has a chance. It's either going to be Bennett or Marchand. For Edmonton, it's either McDavid or Draisaitl. Draisaitl for the overtime goals. In theory, if he has a monster couple of games, maybe he could take it from Draisaitl. The point totals are kind of similar right now. I would go Draisaitl if I had to pick, because he has multiple game-winning goals in the actual Stanley Cup Finals. I think it's a 3-person race right now. It's Draisaitl for Edmonton, it's Bennett, and it's Marchand for Florida. That's all I got.
So if this game goes back to Edmonton's favored, right?
I think in Game 7,
not by a lot.
Yeah,
not by a lot. I'd say -120, -125.
How are they coming up with these future prices?
A series at +310. So I guess
it just seems like the Florida price is very steep, considering like why would you lay -400 on Florida when you could just take them -140? Did I write that? I had to write that down wrong, right? That can't be right.
smoking my weed.
The series price?
Yeah.
I'll double check it, but
it doesn't make sense, right?
Plus 310 for the series.
Why would you play Florida? It is the correct. Why would they be minus 400?
As opposed to what?
Well, I know you have 2 shots, but they're going to be minus 1. I mean, I could do the mechanical parlay. Minus 146 and plus 100 does not come out to
minus 400.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not doing that exactly right. But
I was going to say, but for that parlay, they have to win both of those games. They only have to win one out of 2. That's why the price is so high, because they don't need to cash that parlay. They can lose game 6 and win game 7. You're fine.
I think I would take a small piece of the Oilers.
Okay, at plus 310. All right, I'll reinvest on the Oilers. If I'm taking them to win at plus 122, yeah, I want to see Canada win a Stanley Cup. I am red, white, and blue through and through. Florida's had their time. I think let's get Canada.
So if they're assuming they're minus 122, what are we getting on this number? 330?
310.
Oh, 310. Yeah, so it's about there's not a ton of EV oozing out of this one.
Okay,
unless the counter argument is, instead of taking Edmonton to win the series, take Draisaitl, Conn Smythe for better odds.
Because he's the only guy who can win it.
Well, McDavid.
In theory, if McDavid goes nuts and has a 4-point game, then yeah, he might steal it. But Draisaitl has 2 separate overtime game-winning goals in the Stanley Cup final,
and that's 650 for the record. So
Draisaitl?
Yes.
Okay.
Both McDavid and Draisaitl are sitting at 650.
And if McDavid gets points, usually Draisaitl's attached to it because they're on the same power play and they sometimes are on the same line. Yeah. So it's tough to separate.
This is why we can't have hockey on the show, because I already have so much action. I don't need to get hyped up about a Draisaitl Conn Smythe. But I do think that price is good. So get a little icing on Draisaitl Conn Smythe plus 650. Scott, awesome times as always having you on. You do a ton of podcasts for SGPN, keeping a very straight face during Ryan's air horn. What you do?
That's what that was.
Yeah,
I don't know what that was.
This is Ryan trying to do an air horn.
I feel like you have to explain it. It's very inside baseball.
I forget what was the scenario that you tried to do the air horn.
We were getting excited because you were I think you were going into an edge boost. You had just done a smooth transition into an edge boost read, and me and Colby were having fun with it.
Scott, you do a ton of shows for the network, MLB, NBA, WNBA. What is the next show you'll be recording for SGPN?
Well, as you were doing the opening and the discussion to start the show about how Sam Burns screwed over your bankroll,
yeah,
I was actually editing the tennis show that I just recorded. So I actually got that posted like maybe half an hour ago.
Oh, look at this, Ryan.
There we go.
Lock it up. And Scott very
Sean's wet right now.
I know. So is Sam Burns, but I would have been if he could have hit a shot in the rain. He didn't get it done.
Too bad, Sean.
Make sure you follow Scott on X. Fun follow for sure at Reichel Radio, and check out all his free picks podcasts over on the SGPN app. Kramer, tomorrow we got our buddy, the man in the box, CJ Sullivan, talking a little early defensive player of the year.
Correct. NFL with CJ. What could be better?
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
I love green chili, Sean.
I'm wet.
Kramer, let it ride.